Could Leon Rose and the New York Knicks look to pull off a trade where they acquire the young athletic player Cam Whitmore from the Houston Rockets? We're going to break down that idea and the latest trade rumors surrounding the NBA in a second. First, though, make sure you are subscribed to Knicks Now by Chat Sports. We are on our way to 58,000 subscribers, and now is the time of year you want to hit that sub button. We go live on the channel for every game day, and we are going to cover the NBA trade deadline better than anybody else out there. I need 368 diehard Knicks fans right now to hit that subscribe button. Please. Yo, what's going on, everybody? You're watching Knicks Now by Chat Sports. I am your host, Marshall Green. Let's dive into it. As a lot of people on Knicks Twitter, as well as NBA Twitter, are talking about the Cam Whitmore trade rumors. And with the Rockets having interest with a young player on the Knicks roster, I think it could make some sense. Let's start with the report from Sports Illustrated, where they wrote that Cam Whitmore, the second-year player out of Villanova, could be a hot name in the trade rumor streets as we get closer and closer to the February trade deadline. He's playing less minutes this year than he did in his rookie season. The Rockets are exceeding all expectations at the top of the Western Conference, not number one, but at the top of the top when it comes to the overall seeding. They are playing really well, and with their rotation growing, he has kind of seen less minutes. He's actually picked up a couple of DNPs as well, only played in 18 games this year, and he has gotten into a back and forth with Ime Udoka through the media. He said something to the media, then Udoka said something to the media, and it is very clear and evident that Cam Whitmore, talking too much NFL draft. Cam Whitmore is not happy with his role right now with the Houston Rockets. After he scored 18 points just a couple days ago, he said this: "I contributed a little bit, but it doesn't really affect anything. I'm just glad we got the win. I'm not in a weird spot. I just have a lot of question marks about myself." And it makes a lot of sense, right? A young player that's made it probably seem like the team probably made it seem like he was going to be a piece of their future going forward. Seeing him play less minutes this year has to be a little bit disheartening. He's out of the rotation, just 14.8 minutes per game. He's only appeared in 18 games. When it comes to the Knicks, though, Cam Whitmore is a young player that I would look to make a trade for and that I would bet on. When I did my scouting for him in that 2023 NBA draft, I liked him. Uber athlete, someone that I thought had a high upside of a defensive profile. He can get out in transition and run. He's a one-man fast break, and I think he has shown at times that he can hit that outside shot with a little bit of consistency. Unfortunately, he has not done that this year, though, shooting just 29% from downtown for the Houston Rockets this year. All of his stats are down, as are the minutes, from 18.7 to 14.8. Points per game down, rebounds down, field goal percentage down, three-point percentage down. I don't love the fact that he's shooting probably around 33% throughout his NBA career from downtown, but I do like that he's able to hit the corner three. He is 23 of 60 in his NBA career from the corner, shooting 38.3%. And if you can hit corner threes, you can defend, you can get out and run, and you're a wing, yeah, I think the Knicks would have some interest in you. Remember, guys, this was a very, very highly touted player throughout the NBA pre-draft process in 2023. The Ringer had him as their 11th best prospect in that draft. A relentless competitor who has a high floor and has flash signs of stardom. They said he's got shades of Miles Bridges, Corey Maggette, legit size at 6'6" plus, 235 pounds, still just 20 years old, and he's got a 6'8" wingspan. So he's got all the tools and athleticism to be an impact guy on both sides of the floor, which is why I would take a chance on Whitmore. I would call up the Rockets, and I would see what it takes to get a deal done. And I think they know what it takes to get a deal done, because Ian Begley, who covers the Knicks for SNY, shout out to Ian, check him out, follow his stuff, support him, put out a piece a couple days ago saying there are fans inside the Houston Rockets building that are fans of Jericho Sims. So maybe there's a light framework of a deal there. Sims to Houston, Whitmore to New York. I think the Knicks would have to add a little bit more when it comes to value, but I think they also are going to, or I know they're going to have to add a little bit more to the salary thanks to the worst CBA in all of sports. The Knicks do need to add to their wing spot ASAP because right now the formula they have for winning is going to result in them running out of gas. Mikal Bridges leads the NBA in minutes per game. Josh Hart is number 2. OG Anunoby is number 7. And Jalen Brunson is in the top 15. You just cannot sustain a season like that. Mikal Bridges played more minutes than anybody in the NBA this year. Josh Hart, he's just up there as well, and OG is as well. You need another wing that can spell these guys. The question is, would Tom Thibodeau trust a young Cam Whitmore? I'm not so sure. I do know this, though. If the Knicks are going to trade for Whitmore, they got to send out more than $3.379 million in a trade. So how do they get that done with Jericho Sims making about $2.2 million this year? Couple of different trade ideas. I got bored and decided to get sticky in the NBA Fanspo trade machine. Not saying I would do any of these deals. These just all work out financial-wise. What about Jericho Sims and Pacome Dadier going to the Houston Rockets? Maybe you add a couple of second-round picks to get it done, but I think this is relatively close to what a deal could potentially look like. If you want to go a different route and you want to hold on to Jericho Sims and maybe cash in the $14 million chip of Mitchell Robinson, you can get Whitmore, and you can add a veteran like Jeff Green to make it happen. Green somehow played 29 minutes in a game just a couple of days ago. I don't know what he's got left in the tank, but I do like him as a veteran on this team, and I do think he could play in the playoffs for maybe 8 to 12 minutes here and there. Another idea, if you want to include Mitchell Robinson, but also get back a center that could play for you, what about adding Cam Whitmore and Steven Adams, and you trade out Mitchell Robinson, and you use Tyler Kolek as a little bit of sweetener and to make the money work? 3 different trade ideas. There's a couple of other moves the Knicks could make, and it could become a 3-team trade. So I don't really want you to focus too much on the trade package. I just want you to focus on this. Should the Knicks make a trade for Whitmore? Sounds like he's available. Sounds like he wants to change the scenery. And according to Begley, the Knicks player, Jericho Sims, has drawn interest from the Houston Rockets front office. Type T for trade, type P for pass. Coming up next, I just want to react quickly to Knicks versus Raptors. Knicks were on a 3-game losing streak. They got off the schneid. They beat the snot out of the Toronto Raptors. And I can't wait for the game this Friday against OKC. We got to get our lick back. First, though, if you want to go to the game against the Oklahoma City Thunder, download the Game Time app and use that promo code ChatSports, and you're going to get $20 off your first purchase where terms do apply. Not going to lie, it's a pricey ticket. It always is to go put your butt in a seat at MSG. With our promo code, you can at least save a little bit of cheese. You're also going to get the best seats for the lowest price guaranteed. Prices actually drop as the events get closer, and that is why Game Time is the only ticketing app that I use. Maybe you don't want to go to a Knicks game. Maybe you can't go to a Knicks game. How about an NFL playoff game? I've been to an NFL playoff game in my life before. It was a lot of fun, and Game Time is the app with the best seats for the lowest prices guaranteed for the NFL playoffs. And if you use that all-in pricing feature, as well as that Game Time picks feature, you're going to lock yourself into the best deal and not going to have to pay hidden fees. More than just hoops, though. More than just NFL concerts, theater events, as well as comedy shows. So download the app, create an account, use that promo code ChatSports. That is CHATSPORTS. And you get $20 off your first purchase where terms do apply. All of that information is clickable down in the comments and description of today's show. I love that we're starting the game talking about OG Anunoby, who is now 5-0 as a member of the Knicks against his former team, the Toronto Raptors. Had a 30-piece against him earlier in the season, 27 points last night. He had R.J. Barrett searching for answers because he gave him problem after problem. OG had Barrett in clamps. Had him in Rikers Island. There was this one play where R.J. Barrett drove to the hoop and he literally ripped it from him like it was your big brother as you tried to play him in the driveway one-on-one. Good to see OG get back on the offensive end, locked in. Has been a little bit streaky and spotty, but he looked really good last night. Needs to continue that to go. Josh Hart, man, you are a sicko. This guy does it every night. 21 points, 11 rebounds, 7 assists. Got up 5 threes, made 2 of them. Josh Hart's a 40% three-point shooter. You're going to win a lot of games this year. I still want him to shoot the ball more. There were still a couple of times where he was wide open and passed up a good shot in search of a great shot. But Josh, shoot 38% from 3 this year. Let it fly, my man. Stop thinking and just hoop. I love the pull-up mid-range, though. He's added to his bag this year. And he also at one point was guarded. I think it was by Kelly Olynyk one-on-one. Thank you for taking him to the rack. That was disrespectful. They thought that Kelly Olynyk could guard you. Karl-Anthony Towns is the best scoring big man in the NBA right now. I really don't think it's close. 27 points on 14 shots. That's disgusting. 3 of 3 from downtown, shooting above 40% from 3, 13 more boards. He's the most impactful player on the Knicks this year. He makes their offense go. He allows them to play with space, pace, and that 5-out offense that's going to help them, hopefully, put a banner in the rafters. Mikal Bridges didn't have his stuff last night. He's been struggling from 3 over the last 3 games. I think he is now 3 of 23, I want to say, in his last 3 games from downtown. Not worried about it. He's shown that he could be a streaky shooter from there. But he was a team high when it came to the plus-minus department, and you won the game in real time by 24, and the Knicks bench came in for the final 2 minutes, and they were outscored by 12 points in 2 minutes, which was insane. But the Knicks dominated, and Bridges, he was the highest when it came to the plus-minus. JB didn't have his game. I won't say that. Jalen Brunson was off when it came to shooting the ball. Jalen Brunson did not have his scoring game last night. But the sign of a great player is finding a way to affect the game when the jumper won't fall. 7 assists, 1 turnover. That's awesome stuff. And he got a little gritty on the boards, too, with 6 boards. JB, I thought, played a good game, but they are going to need him to get locked in on the offensive end because they still need him to be a 25-point-per-game guy. Preston Chua, I thought, gave you some good minutes. I'm sure he was a little bit more energized going up against his former team. 6 points, 4 boards. Always solid stuff from Precious. Shamet probably had his best game as a New York Knick, or as Walt Clyde Frazier would say, Charmit. Could someone please tell him it's Shamet and not Charmit? I know he won 2 rings. I know he's the best ever. It's Shamet, not Charmit. Love you, Walt. If this guy could start hitting some threes, he's going to be a rotational piece here. I think he played 20-plus minutes last night. The Knicks need to extend their bench, but they need to do it with players that can hit shots. And Shamet needs to hit shots. He's here because he hit shots in his career. Has not done that so far. Yeah, a good win, a dominant win. You beat a team you're supposed to beat. You beat the brakes off a team you're supposed to beat. You beat them and you covered. That's what great teams do. Great teams also beat great teams. And you got a great team in OKC coming to your building Friday night for Friday Night Knicks. Let's get it done. Let's get our lick back. Make sure you are following me on social media. I'm on Twitter. I'm on IG at @MarshallGreen_. Hit me up and let's go Knicks.